Cool. Okay. Namaskar. So today we will talk about, we'll start talking about, what do you say? Yamas. Sorry, Niyamas. So we have Shaoca and we have Santosha. So Nirmal, Madhuvidyā, who are they? Okay, I'm joking. I'm trying to... Oh, Stanislav, time is up. Well, Namaskar. Family is good. It's a good excuse. It's a perfect, the only good excuse.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
See you.
Увидимся, намаскар, доброго дня. Или ночи уже, вечера. Okay, so, Shaocha. So let me share the screen with you. I've been inspired by how systematic everyone has been, so I'm just gonna try to accordingly. So, Shaocha. You know, my name is Nirmal, and do you know what Nirmal means? It's an open question. Let's start talking. Atmaram, what
Pure.
is Nirmal? Madhuvidyā says
Very
pure. Yeah, good. Yes, don't be sorry. It's good. I ask you a question. Okay, Atmaram.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Japesh.
Oh, what is the Shaoca, right?
No, Nirmal.
Oh, what is the meaning of the word of your name?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you see, it means pure. Maya Acharya, the Parinirvananda, first said pure of heart, but it actually means purity, and just for nature, for emotional purity, spiritual purity. And Shaocha means has a similar meaning. So, okay, let's read. Um, I'll read the first one, and then each one of you can read the next one. So the first one is Srila Bhadrananda loves this quote a lot. He always says it in his video, and he said it to me in numerous times during the LFT training. Cleanliness is next to godliness, attributed to the cleric John Wesley somewhere in 1778. And the second one is by George Bernard Shaw, who lived for, I think, 70 until he was 70 or 80. He was a vegetarian. He was a famous playwright from Britain. Madhuvidyā, can anybody read this one? Let's take turns and read them. Each one will take a quote that they like the most.
okay. Better keep yourself clean and bright. You are the window through which you must see the world.
Quite poetic, thank you. The next one by Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the precursors to psychotherapy or Western philosophy, existentialism. Anybody?
A man who possesses genius is insufferable unless he also possesses at least two other things: gratitude and... I think it's cut off.
Yeah, poor formatting. It cleanliness. Sorry, there's so much echo for some reason. Yeah, it means cleanliness. Sorry, guys. Cleanliness. Okay, and the last one, Atmaram. No choice, sorry.
Recognize simplicity, cherish purity, reduce your possessions, diminish your desires.
Yeah, Lao Tzu from Tao Te Ching. Okay, so this is like just a kind of clickbait inspiration for this principle. So the plan is definition, examples, and discussion. So the definition, I'm just quoting from Sheshanandamurti. I didn't do any research much into the other ones. So Shaocha, the first aspect of Niyama sadhana, it means purity of cleanliness. It can be subdivided into two parts: one relating to the external sphere, and one means external cleanliness, and the other mental sphere, internal cleanliness. So when people driven by instincts direct their mental stuff blindly towards the objects of pleasure without taking any help from their conscience, or when mind ultimately gets crucified by being constantly goaded by selfish motives, whether or not they think of doing harm to others, their minds get distorted. The complexes by which this distortion occurs are dirts of the mind. For example, if any acquaintance suddenly earns much name, fame, or knowledge, many will develop a feeling of jealousy towards him. People suffer from mental trouble at the prosperity of others. They do not give it the least thought as to how much potentiality they themselves possess to earn those things or to acquire those qualities. Though that fortunate person did not harm them, yet being overpowered by jealousy, they create trouble for or think ill of him or her. I have to confess this happened to me recently. A friend of mine, who I think behaves quite arrogantly, he got a role in quite a major film based on the Hare Krishna's movement. And I was at first very, very happy for him. Like I was like, yeah, that's a serious project. And then I realized in my mind, oh, why is it not me? Why this guy? Why not me? And I'm like, okay, I'm not thinking, I have this jealousy in me. It's real. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a human being. It's fine. And I did my sadhana, and it took me, I think, 30 or 40 minutes to get kind of past this feeling of jealousy. Yeah, so it's a natural feeling, and nobody is immune to it. But the key is we want to be pure internally. And Baba, as a side note, says that external cleanliness of the house, of clothes, of course, it's important to use soap for everything, even if you do it like to get it under your nails. And then I went to the seminar by the Margis, and Dara gave me a present, cleaning for the tongue, the scraper for the tongue. I do recommend you get it. It's very convenient. You just basically brush it in the morning, in the evening, because lots of bacteria accumulate on it from the guts, I guess, and it's very important to cleanse it. And actually, when I was struggling with anxiety, one friend of mine, Ruslan, he said, well, you know what? Just meticulously clean out your house. Just clean out everything. And I did that, and actually it does help. When you do it mindfully, it helps a lot. Declutter the space, declutter the mind. Okay, does anybody want to read this one? Czepiesz?
Yep, I'll read it. Where selfish interest is hampered, the minds of even the so-called honest people also become distorted within a very short time. Just as one's clothes and houses get dirty very quickly in a dust storm, so also the mind becomes much more polluted by the storm of even insignificant passion in much less time. Therefore, it is a necessity to maintain the cleanliness of body, dress, and house, but the need to keep the mind clean is still greater. Cleansing the mind is a far more laborious job than cleansing the body. I can't see the bottom.
Where did you stop?
Cleansing the body. Laborious job than cleansing the body.
Clothes, house, etc. Okay, can you okay, yeah, the echo is crazy. I just heard myself speaking and my voice sounds so bad. I think it's a famous thing that well known that people don't like their voice when they hear it. I think notably Johnny Depp just cannot see himself in the films for that reason. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyways, get over this. Anybody else wants? I'll read this one, and then somebody, if you want to read this on the right, you are welcome to volunteer. So the application of force must be a special type of action. External Shaoca is an external activity, and mental Shaoca is an internal activity. If the impurity of selfishness, or jealousy, which by entering into every cavity of the mental body makes it weak, make life a heavy burden, it has to be removed. It has to be burned and melted in the fire of sadhana. Such sadhana is just the opposite of mean and selfish sadhana. It is such that no impurity, no black spot remains in the mind. Interestingly, Baba uses the metaphor of fire again. Just like we burn some scars, we burn these impurities of the mind. Just to save time, maybe I'll read it on the right. Unless, if you want to just kind of let me know. The feeling of selflessness, the feeling of universalism is the only remedy to remove mental impurities. People who have fascination or temptation for any material object can gradually remove the mental pollution arising out of selfish motives by adopting just a reverse course. Those who are very greedy for money should form the habit of charity, and they can serve humanity through such a practice. Those who are angry or egoistic should cultivate the habit of being polite, and they should serve humanity through that practice. Therefore, only selfless service to humanity and the efforts to look upon the world with a cosmic outlook alone can lead to establishment in mental Shaoca or cleanliness. I remember one of the Baba's discourses is called Taking an Opposite Stance in Battle. You know, when two people fight with swords in the medieval times, one will pose strike like this, and in order for you to, how do you say, prevent the hit, you have to do the right opposite. So like it comes to like this, so you have to take an opposite stance. So this is what it is. Okay. Okay. Can anybody want to volunteer to read this on the left side?
I can read. A
Okay,
question might
Atmaram.
as to how much people should donate for Shaocha sadhana. Should they make paupers of themselves? For services, the goal people should fully observe aparigraha, acquiring only the bare necessities of life for themselves and their direct dependents, without which they cannot live and utilize the rest for the collective welfare of the universe.
Okay, Madhuvidyā, can you read the rest one?
But one who is dedicated to an ideal must be prepared to gladly and eagerly give up one's soul, even one's life, for the collective interest. Even in a house where food is not abundant, you should keep something for the residents of the house to appease their hunger and donate the rest to the needy. In this case, thinking of the residents' necessities is not narrowness or meanness, because the preservation of life is certainly very important, though not the ultimate aim. When one is fighting for an ideal, however, to accept defeat means to plunge in severe gloom. Where there is not the least possibility to remove the gloom, one will have to sacrifice everything to uphold one's ideal. You should always be ready, like an armed soldier, to meet such exigencies.
Yeah, it's an interesting comparison, parallel to tapah. The fourth Shila is readiness to sacrifice everything of one's life for an ideology. So it's quite, tantric or kshatriyan or military principle. So in a way, it is similar to Shaocha. Being pure means following very strict discipline and being strict in sadhana, but also basing it on love, of course. All right, so this is the poem I found by Rabindranath Tagore. Baba also often quotes him, and he is, a Nobel Prize laureate and a famous Bengali. Purity. Life of my life, I shall ever try to keep my body pure, knowing that thy living touch is upon all my limbs. I shall ever try to keep all untruths out of my thoughts, knowing that thou art that truth which has been kindled the light of reason in my mind. I shall ever try to drive all evils away from my heart, and keep my love in flower, knowing that thou hast thy seat in the innermost shrine of my heart. And it shall be my endeavor to reveal thee in my actions, knowing it is thy power gives me strength to act. So, an expression of devotional sentiment, right? I don't even want to comment anything on this. So in the end, I wanted to. I don't think I will. I'll spend time watching this. Or what? We have 9 minutes. I just read the translation of this Prabhupada Sankita number 672, and I think Baba. One of the comments I saw that it is based on the Buddhist culture and the idea of Bodhisattva. So the translation of this song is this: "Pure essence and purifying fire hath awakened your flame. Intuitive light, the essence of knowledge, shines forth in your illumination. The unconscious mind, under the pressure of inertness, came to life during Pratisanchara, or the introversial phase of creation. Into the arena of Pabula, or food, where love resides, you offered final oblation. Heavenly effulgence descended, and the earth became gracefully decorated. Both earth and heaven started swinging to and from awakening in cognition of life." So I will share the link to the song later. I don't think I will spend our time on this. Namaskar. So we have 7 minutes. Does anybody want to share any stories or instances of, for example, stories, poems, songs, or videos, films on this principle, or personal examples?
Well, just the essence of purity. I'm always reminded I don't know if it's because these images are in my head of the Virgin Mary. There is a painting by Peter Paul Rubens, The Assumption of the Virgin.
Please share it with us.
Let me share. So I think everybody is pretty familiar with the story of the Virgin Mary, the mother of Christ, chosen to bear the Messiah because of her internal purity. And I believe the image, it's her reconnecting with the source. And whether or not she's a virgin, I think it's just symbolic of her nature being completely pure. And I think that is very high up there in importance in what allows someone to rise in their spiritual quest. So everyone sees the image, right? But yeah, Peter Paul Rubens is he has a lot of paintings that are biblical in nature. Yeah.
Okay. There is a metaphor of a spiritual aspirant. Behind Japesh there is a lotus flower, and lotus flower is usually compared to a spiritual aspirant because lotus flower grows in the mud, lives in the mud, and with its roots tries to sink deep into the mud, while its flowers are trying to open up, and it's beautiful and it's pure, and it's kind of trying to make this contact symbolically with the moon. There's a similar quote in the spiritual aspirant as well, situated in this mud, but at the same time aspire towards God, towards light. I think Nietzsche has a similar quote that in order for the tree to reach heaven with its trunk, its roots must be as deep as to reach hell, the depth of hell. Okay, Madhuvidyā Atmaram. Go ahead, guys, if you have anything to share.
I've been pondering over this topic recently, and I just wanted to share something. Let me share my screen. I think that Shaoca actually is directly related to this theory that many of you may know. So it's broken window theory. So the idea is, so in criminology, this theory states that visible signs of crime or antisocial behavior encourage further crime and disorder, including serious crimes. So, so if a window in a building is broken and left unrepaired, all the rest of the windows will soon be broken. And this is true in nice neighborhoods as in rundown ones. So I think this can be used as a metaphor for, and it can be applied as one of the like representation of Shaoca applied to the physical world as well as to our mind. So if we left some things unattended, some, I don't know, if we do not really take care about where we live in some minor things, it can eventually lead to high level of anti-Shaoca around us. And the same goes with our mind. So if we do not meticulously take care of what we consume and how do we take care of our mental cleanliness, purity, then it will gradually and unnoticeably lead to much more drastic consequences. That's just my observation, and that's just something I've been pondering over recently. Just wanted to share with you. I think it might be related to Shoichi.
Interesting. You take it to social relationships, and I'm just studying conflict and conflict resolution right now in education and society. And one of the approaches is restorative justice system, which is basically using the indigenous cultures' approaches to peacemaking. And there are three concepts. What you just described can relate to peacekeeping. Peacekeeping is basically, somebody just does something wrong and there's instant punish to preserve it, to stop it from happening. So one window is broken, somebody broke the window, punish the person, rebuild the window right away. So some research actually shows that just peacekeeping is not sufficient because it's not really doing any dialogue. So it's not like actually changing the psychology of people who do that, the psychology of crimes. It's like when we incarcerate someone, does it actually reform the person? What does it say about the society where we just put the person there and kind of whatever happens there, happens there? But of course, it costs more money and energy, and it requires more specialist attention to have a dialogue with the person and kind of try to re-educate them, to reintegrate them into society, So this is called peacemaking, when we have a dialogue. And peace building is a long-term approach where we kind of try to repair those things. We kind of try to repair our relationships, and not just, crime and punishment, but also restoration and transformation of our psychology. So, Madhuvidyā, any final words from you, and then we will move on.
Yeah, I I saw a few videos from Dada on this topic, and he mentions that with when we want to keep our minds pure, we need to the ideas that are impure change to the ones that are pure, or behave in a different противоположный way with people who, for example, are liars. You should be a sadhu, honest and sublime, or react to gossip calmly without involvement. So all the tendencies can be changed to the противоположный,
The opposite.
the opposite ones.
Okay, thank you very much. Final words, Aditya, final comments. We're over time for this section. If you have any stories or on Shaocha, go ahead. You are on mute, but I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, it's like you're speaking from some machine. It's like you're from the dungeon.
No, I'm speaking through the regular thing microphone. Is it better now?
No, there is some water running. I don't know.
Okay, let me fix it. Hello, is it better? Good, good, good. Okay, I was listening to you guys, and I was thinking about one thing. And I decided maybe I'll throw in this idea for everybody to think it over, if you want to. So the idea is the connection between Shaocha, mental Shaocha, in our today's context, and karmic consequences. Karmic consequences individually, like for every individual person, for smaller human groups and for larger human groups, and how this all binds together in our life. This is something, food for thought.
Yes, I think you're.
And my take on this is that it's all connected, and this connection is can easily be seen in our lives. We can see how things, have consequences after certain people take certain actions, and then we can observe the consequences. And even in our own lives, so we take actions. Sometimes willingly, sometimes unwillingly, and then we can observe the consequences if we are ready to accept that. That's what I wanted to say, and just to give everybody some food for thought. That's it. Thank you. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. It's an important point. Yes. Okay, Madhuvidyā, sorry for taking over your time.
Okay, so the next principle is called Santosha. Santosha means the state of mental ease. Santosha therefore means a state of proper ease. Bappa says that contentment is not at all possible if the individuals are running after carnal pleasures like beasts. As a result of extraversial analysis, the objects of enjoyments go increasing both in number and abstraction, and that is why one's mental flow never gets any rest. Under such circumstances, how can one attain perfect peace of mind? Achieving the desired objects may give one pleasure for an hour or so, but that will not last long. The mind will again run in pursuit of new objects, leaving behind objects already tested. The long-cherished objects will lose their importance. This is the rule. This is the law of nature. So, Santosha is not just satisfying our momentary desires or pleasures. It's a deep satisfaction, or something that is not connected to with any external objects. It comes from internal. Because human desire knows no end. We strive to achieve things constantly, and we strive to reach the ultimate goal. But when we don't understand what this ultimate goal is, we just trying to satisfy ourselves with every single thing that is coming our way. So he also says that out of excessive fondness for physical or mental pleasures, people become mad to earn money and amass wealth. As money becomes the be-all and end-all of life, the mind gets crudified. Constant hankering after money results in negligence of one's health, and this makes the body unfit. Therefore, Santosha sadhana lies in being contented with the earnings of normal labor, without any undue pressure on the body and mind. To remain contented, one has to make special type of mental effort to keep aloof from external allurements. So, for example, when we have a desire, when we want something, we should use the opposite approach. No, I don't want this. No, I want this. No, I don't want this. And we just let it go naturally. And by doing this, we're trying to detach ourselves or achieve control over the tendencies that arise and those are the tendencies that we cannot actually usually be in control of, but we can practice it. for example, to get free from excessive desire to eat. For most people, it's not easy, but with practice, it will get easier. So with time and development of this habit, a person becomes detached from such desires that are not very deep, and just becomes content with smaller things. But there is a trap. We can become so content that we don't want to do anything else or achieve anything anymore. And when it happens, we should start searching for deeper motivations. So we exchange want or don't want to what I should do because I feel I should do this, or this is my inner deep motivation to do this. And so we need to connect to ourselves to find this internal truth or internal meaning. What is my what are my ideals? What is my biggest thing I want to achieve or bring into the world? And so this motivation will drive us or move forward. But how to find it? We should meditate or read spiritual books and think about it actively. I think that's it from me. Do you have any comments, questions, stories?
Do you have any personal examples of application of Santosha? Why were you so? Why did you want to do presentation on this particular principle?
No, I just wanted to explore this topic more because I'm still not very established in it.
I think nobody is very established in all of this, in all of these principles. I think Baba said that the only person who was established permanently was Shiva. Well, any stories from anybody?
No stories, but I do think it's a very important principle because if we look at our society, there is a high incidence of mental health issues, and I think it's due to lack of contentment. It's almost like everything we are taught, it's almost to be not content and always seeking, always striving for more. So you're never happy. You're always thinking that uh, when you get this, when you achieve that, you'll be happy. But once you get it, you move on to the next thing. You know. But I was trying to reflect on uh, film art where this principle sort of reveals itself, and I came across a Radiohead song. I really like that band, great band. And let me share the lyrics. So the song is called Optimistic. Flies are buzzing round my head, vultures circling the dead, picking up every last crumb. The big fish eat the little ones, the big fish eat the little ones. Not my problem, give me some. You can try the best you can, you can try the best you can. The best you can is good enough. If you try the best you can, if you try the best you can, the best you can is good enough. This one's optimistic, this one went to market, this one just came out of the swamp, this one drops the payload, fodder for the animals living on Animal Farm. You can try the best you can, you can try the best you can, the best you can is good enough. I'd really like to help you, man. I'd really like to help you, man. Nervous, messed up marionettes floating around on a prison ship. You can try the best you can. You can try the best you can. The best you can is good enough. Dinosaurs roaming the earth. Dinosaurs roaming the earth. Reading the lyrics doesn't do it justice. Please listen to the song. But I think it represents our society in general, like lack of contentment. Everyone is, like it's a dog eat dog world. Everybody is trying to exploit others. Countries trying to exploit others, and everyone trying to sort of take their piece of the pie. Not really any sharing, and it's almost like trying to take it all and control the resource. But I think all we could do, or all that's necessary for our contentment, is, it's not just to sit there and be content. We actually need to put forth effort. So you can try the best you can. The best you can is good enough. And think of what that means in our lives. Are we actually putting all we can into that which is important? Because if we are, and we're not too attached with the results, then I think contentment can be achieved. So yeah, Optimistic by Radiohead. Any questions, comments? Disagreements?
I think that I also want to say about the power of gratitude. Some studies say that it's important, and in many cultures, the gratitude journal and other things like just being aware of what you have in life can make you very happy. Just focusing on that, being grateful for that, and actually maybe being happy for what you do not have, like the bad things. I think gratitude is really connected to me with Santosha. Also, the song, if you like songs, Rolling Stones, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you may find to get what you need. I really love this song. This is the spirit of Santosha for me. Just kind of, it has to do with surrender. Just see what you have, and that's what you need. Maybe not what you, not definitely not what you want, but what you need.
I just wanted to add a little bit to this. There is a very simple practice, very simple. The first thing you think when you wake up in the morning is thank you. I'm able to wake up this morning. This is and at first it's more or less mechanic. So you make yourself think that you're thankful, but over time you are able to feel gratitude inside. It takes a bit of time. It doesn't come right away, and an effort, obviously. But over time, it gets into your mind so deep that it becomes part of you. So you wake up, and the first thing you feel in the morning is gratitude, and that's going to make a difference in your life. That's a practice I've learned. I just wanted to share this. Yeah, that's everything.
I also see the importance of gratitude. You know, there's so much to be grateful for. We only realize it when we lose it. So I think within Buddhism, there are the 10,000 sorrows, the 10,000 joys, and where exactly is our attention? There's always things we can uh, complain about, but there are always things that we can be grateful for. And yeah, I think definitely very important in being happy. Gratitude.
There's a famous Russian fairy tale про рыбака и рыбку, and I think there's a similar story in English by a different author. But the thing is, the fisherman lives with his wife, and his wife and they live in a very old shack, and very poor. And once the fisherman catches in his net a golden fish, and the fish says, "Let me go, and I can just make whatever you wish come true, any dream come true." And the old man is like, he's fine, he's okay, but his wife has many dreams, many desires. So first she's like, okay, make our house big and nice. Okay, good. And then boom, it so happens. And then she says, well, okay, now I want to have servants. And then, okay, now I want to be an empress. And now I want to have everything in this world. So I think at some point, I forget what, you Russian speakers can correct me, but what happens in the end is that as then the fish says, well, no, I'm not going to do it. And it reverses fortune, and everything goes back, and they go back to living in the shack in poverty. So in other words, because she was not happy, she was not content, well, she did not appreciate whatever was happening, like it was just passing by her. Okay, one finalist one, and I'm not gonna speak one word until the meeting is done today. When Buddha was asked the difference between love and attraction, Buddha said, when you are attracted to something, imagine the plant and you just pluck it. And when you love someone or something, you water the plant so it grows. You give it food, shelter, you give it air, you give it sun, just like that. Oscar.
I don't know.
I
I
think
would
it's
share. Sorry,
yeah. Go ahead.
I would share stories, but they are all just глубокие эмоции. I cannot explain this.
Yeah, I think it's one of the hardest principles to follow, I guess, and to fully grasp even. I think I already shared it last time, I think, is when when I have this idea that I want to get something, I ask myself if I really need that. And most of the time the answer is no. So the thing that I want is actually something that I don't need and that's only one thing, of course. The other thing is it was really hard for me to understand that, the materialistic possessions and just wanting more and more doesn't lead you to happiness. It leads you to actually the opposite, to depression, to depression, I think, in the first place. And I remember about 15 years ago, I guess, I read a book. It's written by Thorstein Veblen. I think he's considered as a philosopher, economist, and it's about the concept of it's called conspicuous, I guess, consumption. So in Russian, it's демонстративное собственничество. So the idea is that there are so many things that in economy, there are so many things that are consumed by individuals, not on the basis of the need for those individuals of having those items, but only because those things they consume can bring them the idea that they will. So it's just a way to signal wealth or wealth to other people around them. I think it's not related only to luxury items. I think it can be related to something just of average price, but something that a person don't really need, but just wants. But mostly that would be related to something that is overpriced and can be considered luxury. For instance, when I was living back in Ukraine, all the Apple products were considered those kind of products. So because the average salary I remember was when I was living back in Kiev like $500. So when you're buying an iPhone that costs $1,000, it's considered a luxury, right? To the average, considering to the average salary. As a result, that's conspicuous consumption. So you buy expensive goods not to satisfy your basic needs, but to show off that you want to have certain social status and you want to showcase your wealth, even though you don't have one. And that obviously doesn't bring happiness. That brings quite the opposite. And that's the waste of money. And that's obvious. But so my point is that was a really good book in terms of understanding that concept, understanding that even in the economy, the economic agents, humans, they do not perceive things they buy just in terms of the real value, but mostly through this lens of perceived value. And this lens of perceived value is usually tinted by this idea of I don't know, getting more satisfaction in life, getting more happiness in life, but getting this tiny little thing. And the best way to kind of figure out whether that's conspicuous consumption or not is to think, would I buy this item if I was living in the middle of the desert, for instance, and there would be no chance that other human being would see me consuming this item in the next decade? Would I buy this car? Would I buy this watch? Would I buy this TV? Would I buy this? And you just put whatever you want to buy. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share. It's a great book, and I think it's a great philosopher. It helped me a lot a while ago, but still, I think it might be related to this topic.
Please share it on our chat in Telegram.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, so I think let's just take about who will take the next principles. We have Shaoca, Santosha, Swadhyaya, Tapah, I think. So Swadhyaya and Tapah.
I'll take the next one.
Swadhyaya?
Yes.
Okay. And who will take Tapah?
I can take it.
Okay, thank you for your Tapah. Okay, I'll stop recording. О, Madhuvidyā, конечно.